Now, I've been giving Sony and their PS4 a lot of shit recently. I felt like a good part of 2017 has largely been a holdover year in anticipation for 2018. That's not to say they didn't have some awesome games this year. Horizon Zero Dawn, Yakuza 0, and Persona 5 came out in the West. I love the idiots who will come out and be like, oh, that game actually didn't come out this year. It was already out in Japan. Like, okay, wow, you got me. No one in the rest of the world played it until this year, though, so yeah, we're counting it. Shut up. I love that. Like, when I was doing the, talking about the Game Awards thing, and, like, Persona was nominated for a bunch of stuff, like music and that, and they're like, whoa, why is Persona on there? That's a last year's game. Like, yeah, let's nominate it for the year that nobody played it. Great idea. But anyway, yeah, they kind of blew their load early. As the year went on, we didn't see as much, especially here towards the end. And we've been seeing a lot of these games shown at their conferences and trade shows over and over again. I can't even tell you how many times they've shown off God of War or Detroit Become Human. But throughout this whole time, I've also discussed what I have called the Sony Storm that's coming in 2018. A lot of these games will finally get their release dates. It's going to be a fantastic time to be a PS4 owner in 2018. I truly believe that. God of War still doesn't have a solid release date, but it's been listed as early 2018, so I would hope that means at least Q1, so, you know, maybe late February or mid-March. Horizon Zero Dawn came out at the end of February, so perhaps they're trying to stick God of War in a similar slot. But regardless, this game will kick off the new year, probably alongside the Shadow of the Colossus remake, and it's just going to be in overdrive throughout the whole year, probably, in terms of PS4 exclusives. Like I said, Detroit Become Human, Yakuza 6, Spider-Man, Days Gone, Ni no Kuni 2, which is also on the PC, I know, Dissidia, Final Fantasy NT, and I mean, these are just exclusives confirmed for 2018. There's rumored stuff like the Final Fantasy VII remake that has been rumored to at least start to release in 2018. Don't forget, it's been announced that the remake will release in chapters, similar to, say, Telltale games, likely because, you know, remaking this full title has got to take a lot of time since it was a huge game for the era it came out in. Combine this with some of the major third-party stuff that you've got set for release in 2018, like Red Dead Redemption 2 and Kingdom Hearts 3. Yes, Red Dead Redemption 2 and Kingdom Hearts 3 are set to come out in the same year, next year. Consider that stuff, and you know, you may already be booked solid if you're gaming on the PS4. There's just so much high caliber stuff coming to the platform next year. It's honestly shocking a little bit. But could they do more? I guess. If I was to hope for one more major release for the PS4, and this one will surely surprise probably all of you that follow my channel, it would be to get another killer app type game for the PlayStation VR. I've kept it no secret that I'm not the biggest fan of VR, but still to this day, Resident Evil 7 on the PlayStation VR is by far my favorite VR experience, largely because it's a fully fleshed out game rather than some tech demo which tends to flood the VR market. I mean, if you played Resident Evil 7 without VR, I'm sure you thought it was a high quality game, so, you know, obviously the whole thing playable in VR is also great. Simply, Sony is continuing to support and bet on their VR ventures. They announced some stuff at their last few events, new games. Hell, maybe the next killer app has already been announced, I don't know it yet. But they're sticking with it, and if they want people to support it, I think they need something that is on that Resident Evil 7 level of experience to come out in 2018, especially since they are releasing an updated version of their headset as well. Beyond that, I think Sony, the PS4, is totally set for releases in 2018 as is. Even if we got no surprises or new confirmations, Last of Us 2 coming in time for the holidays, for instance, would put this just way over the top. Like, in my opinion, perhaps one of the best years for any console ever if we get Last of Us 2 in there before Christmas. But I hope that with all these releases, the focus at their conferences and showcases now switches to 2019 and stays there. Let's not get too deep into 2020, for instance. Like, yeah, you can tease a thing here or there, but let's keep the focus on 2019. This is why I've had harsh words for Sony as of late. It's that they've spent a long time on these games that were so far off. We're closing the gap on those times now. They're going to start to release early next year. But this forced them to show games like God of War, like Detroit Become Human, Days Gone, and that just multiple times over the course of a couple years. And just seeing them over and over again, sometimes the same section of gameplay, it gets tedious. And if it were me, I'd just stick with talking about stuff, or at least, again, keeping the main focus on games that are about a year away. When all of the focus goes on to these things that are 2+ years away, as they did last year. Like, let's not forget, a lot of these games, we saw them at E3 2016, and some of them, not all of them, but some of them surely won't be out by E3 2018. And I feel like the longer you have to keep showing the same games, the more, in my opinion, they start to lose hype. Again, though, that's all coming to an end, at least for this previous crop of games. Obviously, they're not going to keep showing God of War once it comes out in a couple months, right? But yeah, to my primarily Nintendo fan base, you may hate hearing this, but I think as of right now, what is confirmed for 2018, the PS4 is essentially the console to own next year. They are going to straight up batter the player base with a ton of new releases. Like, I hope you guys have some serious vacation time built up or something, because there's a lot of stuff here. Not only a lot of games, but games that will take some time to beat. Like, I was surprised when they said God of War was going to be like a 30+ hour game. Wasn't expecting that sort of playtime from that title at all. And well, there you go. To those of you who haven't liked what I've had to say about Sony as of late, I doubt you'll have much to complain about here. Yeah, we've been seeing the same stuff dangling like a carrot in front of our faces for a while, but now it's time for the payoff. 2018 will surely be a great year for PS4 owners, I have no doubt. And with that, this video's a wrap. Let me know your thoughts on what Sony has set for 2018 in the comments. What are you most excited for? And what sorts of new announcements would you like to see? As always, I'm John Zakari, and thanks for watching.